I just want to test it. Okay, I'll pause it. Okay, so good morning once again. So welcome to the LMS onboarding, right? Yeah, now the journey begins actually. Now the journey actually begins. Classes have started, yes, but of course, it's very important that you get onboarded, right? It's very important we talk about this because this is actually going to be like the defining moment for you. This is where, in fact, without the LMS, of course, you guys are probably just think picture it like you just going to school and entering classes, no exams, no nothing, and then you come out. But that's not the case. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna have a few talking points in this onboarding. First, I'm gonna just go through the roles and channels. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the learning management system and its importance. I'll talk about stages and promotion, and then we'll get to demo, show you guys how to actually get into the learning management system. Okay, so these are the four major things we'll talk about. There are some things inside each of them, sure, but this is basically just that. So if you have questions, please just pen them down, right? Just pen them down. Don't ask questions while I'm actually talking. Just pen them down, and then once it's time for question and answers, you're free to raise your hand and then ask your questions. Okay. So we'll start with the first one. Talking about roles and channels, right? We'll start with that. I think we've talked about this in several meetings that we have had, right? Currently, on the Discord, right, you have the beginner level role. First of all, when you come into the Discord rather, for those of you who just signed up or who probably have not joined yet and listening to this, you actually join, you're presented with two options, right? Which is just be part of the community or join the bootcamp, right? Now, when you join the bootcamp, you are given two roles. One is the trainee role, it's called the KT4 trainee role, and the other is just the member role. Now, I want to state this, not everyone who is on the Discord workspace is for the bootcamp, right? It's also a place, it's also the our community, the CodeCamp community for everyone. It's for every code camper. There are some persons who are on the workspace, right? They are advanced enough and bootcamp is not for them, right? There are some persons who probably deferred and like, you know what, I'm going to do it next year. I'm not really opportune, but they are still part of the community. Okay. So let me just put that out there. Okay. So roles basically just gives you it's more like an access stuff, right? So it gives you privileges. It tells you, okay, fine, this is what you can do, this is what you cannot do, this is what you can see, this is what you cannot see. Okay, so everyone who is part of this boot camp, first of all, you should have the what KC4 trainee role. That's the very first thing. Now, the next thing you need to do after that, which some of you are yet to do, and let me also put this out here. This is an onboarding, so I'll get to also advise and criticize and clear and do all that, right? For one of the things that will make you very ineffective is not being consistent, on Discord. Join today, join in 5 days time, join in 3 days time, join in 2 days time. That will definitely not help you. It will not. And that's one of the challenges a lot of you have, right? So you are MIA for 2 days and then you come back, on the third day, you rise again on the third day, and then you are lost. A lot of things have happened and you're expecting, admin, you're expecting to come and drag you from, since you've been raised from the dead, right? I should, remove the mummy, your mummy now. I should remove your rags and everything and bathe you and bring you into the light and tell you, okay, fine, this is what you have missed for the past 2 days. This is how you can catch up. I don't have that time, right? I personally, I feel it's a disservice to those who are serious. I feel it's a disservice to them. And I also want to say this, like I said, it's onboarding. So there are certain things I'm actually just going to be addressing, right? Especially those of you who come to class 30 minutes late and you want to drag the trainer. I was not here. I joined late. Can you walk me through? We're not going to walk you through anything from today. right? When you join a call, you joined late. There are people who joined early. So you respect them by listening. Later on, you go back and what you watch the video. Because you think of, put yourself in someone who came early, put yourself in the person's shoes. Let's say a concept, a definition, for example, of a variable has been explained. And then 10 people come late and 10 persons make the trainer go back to explain what variable again. That is time wasted. So you who have already listened and gotten that, you now hear the definition of variable 10 times. That's a disservice, and that's just how I see it. Okay. So you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to what? Be attentive. You have a responsibility to join classes. You have a responsibility to be on Discord. You have that's your responsibility. Okay, you have a responsibility to go for information. Information should not come to you. No, that's not a way to live, right? You should go for information. When you miss a class, when you miss something, you go for the information. One of the first things you should do when you join the Discord after being MIA, right? Go through the previous messages, right? Go through the previous messages that you must have missed before you ask a question. I've seen a lot of persons, right? Something is going to be addressed, and just two messages down, they're asking questions for the same thing that was just addressed when all they could do was just scroll up, right? I'll start giving you guys some answers you will not like. So let's prevent it, okay? Okay, so let's move on. So, like I said, roles. So if you have joined, right, first of all, you have the KC4 trainee role. Now, the next thing you should do is to get your level role and join your track channel. Okay. And there's a channel called Get a Level. All you need to do is go there, click on the level you applied for, whether it's beginner or intermediate, right? Once you click on, let's say, beginner, right, you now have access to the channels that are in what the beginner level category. Okay. And then you engage in the one that is just for you. Like I said, let me reiterate. Okay. In KodeCamp, we do not support, or we do not allow people to learn more than one thing. It's against the rules. Okay. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is like the ninth or 10th time I've actually had to say this since the boot camp began. Okay. There's no sorry. If once you're identified, you'll be kicked out. Two persons already has been kicked out, just so you know. So you don't think I'm playing. I've already kicked out two people, and I don't hear sorry, because that's why I like to repeat things. Okay. Sometimes people like to think that they are smart. So after like the 15th time, what I do is I just keep quiet, and I'll just notice you, and I'll wait till, you know, the final stage where you're about to get to you're about to finish. That's when I kick you out. I did it to someone last year, and I can still do it again, of course. If I did it before, I can do it again, right? So let's not get to that place. This is not where you come and misbehave. No, 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 not in KodeCamp. This is not like any training program. There's a certain level of discipline that is what required here. So I need everybody to, kind of sit up. If I see you in two Zoom classes, I see you here, I see you here, don't worry. It will end. Just go to our YouTube. And that's the interesting thing. The training is free. So, of course, you can still be learning on YouTube. No big deal, right? We're still even serving you, Sef. So that's the thing. But of course, you will just not be part of the people that we can trust, that beyond the skill, they can follow instructions. Because you can get the skill, get the job, but if you don't have character, if you don't have the good character, if you don't take instructions, that job, you lose it. Okay. So one of the reasons why we do things like this is because if we want to confidently tell a company or outsource you, you are representing KodeCamp, right? So we need to be sure that the person we are telling this, okay, hey, you can take this person, or we probably want to employ you. No, no, no. We have to be sure that you have the right attitude to work. So don't try to feel like we are against you or we are too harsh. No, no, we're not harsh. We're basically just showing you, giving you an idea of how the tech workspace, the tech world ecosystem that you want to go into, or some of you are already in. We're giving you a taste of how it is. It's not all rosy, right? It's serious business. So as far as channels is concerned, the only channel you should be in is, apart from the community channels, which everyone is a part of already. Now you have the KodeCamp 4.0 category where you have announcement, support, general, and I think it's two others. That's fine. Now, but you have your level category. For some of you, you can see that KC4 beginner level. You should be in only two channels. One is the beginner level channel, for example, if it's beginners, or intermediate level channel if it's for the intermediate. That's generic. And then the next channel is your track specific channel. So if you're a beginner, maybe you signed up for Flutter, on your list, I should just see beginner level and what Flutter, right? I will run, you will not know how I'll ask you for your channel list sometime, somehow, and you just send me a screenshot without knowing that that's what I want to check. And once I see it, you're off. Discipline is very important. So let's learn to take instructions, right? So yeah, so that's about the roles and channels. If you have any questions about it, just pen it down, right? Just pen it down, and I'll address it later. But that's actually that. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Yeah, just a second. Okay, so the learning management system and its importance. So the LMS basically, right, which is short for learning management system. So basically, this is where we get to track your progress. This is where you also get to track your progress. We also get to um, track your progress, right? Some of you have been really, really asking about it and everything. So let's just talk about it briefly. Just a second. Okay, so what you do on the LMS is this. So let me start by saying this. On the Discord, what we basically do on Discord is communication, right? On Discord, it's where you communicate with each other, get mentorship, get answers to your questions. If you're having challenges or the likes, right, you get to what's it called, gets feedback and everything. Now, but for the learning management system, this is where you get to see your tasks, right? You get to you're graded, and you get to see your score. You get to know how well you're doing, right? I'm going to talk about the stages and everything in the next slide, but basically this is where you get to see your progress, with regards to your learning, right? Your assessment, so everything that has to do with assessment and grading, right? A bit of analytics though, right, is going to be done on the learning management system. Now, the learning management system is something you should also have handy. You should also be checking, right? So that because yes, your trainer may inform you that a task has been dropped, okay, but when it's graded, I will not start telling you that. Oh, I won't tell you I have given you a task at the same time. I will not still tell you that I've graded it. You should go and check. No, like I said, each of you have a responsibility to your what growth. You have to be responsible for yourself, right? So yes, if a task is dropped, your trainer rather will say, okay, fine, hey, your task for this has been dropped on the learning management system. That's fine. But going as far as me telling you that, okay, you've been graded, go and check. No, 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 that's your responsibility. So that's your own responsibility. So please note that. I'm also going to talk about tasks and the likes once we get to the actual demo, right? So but that's just kind of like a brief of what the learning management system is all about, and what we are going to what you're going to be using it for. Okay, that's basically that. Now, so let's talk about two important things, because once you get to the LMS, right? Once you get to the learning management system, something else happens, right? Something else happens. You get to see your interface and everything, right? But at the same time, we now need to talk about the concept of stages and promotion. right? The concept of stages and promotion. Now, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So in KodeCamp, right, we run in stages. So please, I think this is where you need to listen carefully, right? I think this is where you need to listen carefully. We run in stages. Okay, so um let me confirm that this is not actually a drawing. Okay, so someone drew on my screen. Okay, I'll find you while I'm talking. Okay, so we run in stages, right? Now, the moment you join the learning management system, each one of you're in stage 0, right? Stage 0. So it runs from stage 0 down to stage 8. Okay, we from stage 0 down to what, stage 8. Now, stage 8 is the final stage. Those who make it to the stage 8, those are people we call finalists. You're called a finalist when you make it to stage 8. Now, being a finalist, please take note. Being a finalist qualifies you. It's more like a qualification for certification. Okay, forget the rhymes, just take the message. It's a qualification for certification. But it's, yeah, two things. It qualifies you for certification and for the capstone project. Because at the end of your training, so it runs 4 months, right? So 3 months is for the training, then you have 1 month for your capstone project. Now, once you get to the final stage, which is stage 8, you're qualified for certification and what, for the capstone project. Now, but what guarantees certification is your participation in the capstone project, and not just your participation, your let me see, what word will I use? Let me use the word total, right? Your there's a word but it's just flying over my head. But your consistency, what you give, how much work you do. So of course it's going to be a group work, right? You're going to be in a group and everything, but listen carefully. If you're in a group and you're not doing your tasks that you're being assigned, okay, contribution. Thank you very much, Caleb and Janet. So your contribution. If your contribution is low, is minimal, let's say your part, since you're in a group, you're supposed to do this chunk of work and you take 5 days to do it, or you don't do it, and don't worry, I'll allow you, after the end, you will just not be certified. That's just it. And there's no big deal, right? You won't come for me, don't worry. Okay. So let me just categorically state it. So again, once you get to the final stage, which is stage 8, qualifies you for certification and what, working on the capstone project. But what guarantees you being certified, right, is your contribution in the capstone project. If your contribution is minimal, and these are the things that makes up, one of the things that make up your contribution. One is your attendance to meetings, because as a group you have to be meeting often to talk about progress and everything, stand-up meetings and all those stuff, right? Attendance is one thing that's what is part of contribution. Your your delivery, the quality of your delivery. Let me give you an example of quality. Now, let's assume as a designer, right? Your one of your tasks, the group project is to build a website, and they assign you to build a contact us page, a typical example, right? And it took you, let's say, 2 days, and what you designed was just not, it was not it at all. And someone helped, someone had to redesign it. As far as I'm concerned, you've done nothing. As far as I'm concerned, you have done nothing. And at the end, all I'll just do is, of course, I'm going to have a record of people's work and what they are doing and the attendance and all those stuff. I will just know that, okay, this person, okay, certified, 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 not certified. And I'm coming to my DM is not even necessary because I won't even answer you. Going to somebody's DM, just so you know, let me even break the ice, right? If you like, go and chat up Engineer Bets or chat up Mr. Lawrence, as some of you may probably want to. When you're trying to get somebody, you now look for somebody above. right? So maybe talk to the person so that the person above will not talk to the person, and then it will not work, just so you know. Let me give you a heads up, right? It won't work because they also understand these things. In fact, if you think I am strict, you have not even met them, right? So please take note of that. So that's about stages. Now, the promotion there is, of course, so from stage 0, you get to move to stage 1, to stage 2, to stage 3, right? Now, what qualifies you for another stage is how well you do in the task. So for a typical example, once you sign up on the LMS, right, you are in stage 0. So there's a task that will be given. So we have what we call promotional tasks, and it's promotional tasks that's what give rise to the promotion. That's what moves you from one stage to another stage. Okay, now this is what a task. Let me explain this so that you guys also understand. Number one thing about your task is that your task has a deadline. I am very big on deadlines, right? Your task has a deadline. And at most, let me give you a heads up also. The highest time you have for any task that will be given you, like just maybe for some reason, I am just being, what's the word? I just want to be nice, right? The highest is 3 days that you'll be given for any task. That's the highest, right? That's just the highest. But what you see more is what 2 days for a task, right? Thank you very much. I just love people that are giving me words, lenient, magnanimous. Thank you. You guys are helping me out. Words are actually just flying around. Okay, so thank you very much, right? So 3 days is the maximum, right? Now, this is it. Let me also explain another thing about tasks. So let's say a task, today's 27th, you have a deadline of 29th, right? 2 days from now. So Wednesday, let's say 11:59 p.m., right? Which you usually see, right? Because I like to leave it to that point. A case of persons who probably come back at night and have to do stuff. So 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday. Now, once it's that, number one, two things can happen. First of all, if I'm still being lenient, I'll allow the submission. I won't close submissions, right? But this is the thing here. Let's say before you submitted before 11:59 and you were able to score 95 out of 100, that's fine based on what you did. If you submit later than 11:59 on that Wednesday, that means past the deadline. No matter what you do, even if it's a perfect work, you will not get more than 75. You won't get that. So I'm just giving certain tasks, the cutoff mark will be 75. Some other tasks will be 80 to be communicated, right? But default for now is 75. So you have to score 75 and above to be able to qualify to get into another stage. Now, if you submit later than the deadline, let's say the submission link is still open, right? I don't want to close it. Let me give some people more chance. You submit later than Wednesday, 11:59. That means on Thursday. If you like, write heaven and earth, code heaven and earth, design heaven and earth, you will not score greater. Your best to be 75. That will be your best. And in the end, score is important. So let me tell you guys something also. You actually see it on your dashboard. Of course, 8 stages, so it's over 800 by the end of the bootcamp is over 800. So just so you know, I'm just giving you a heads up, right? So like that, yeah, I think that's clear. Now, the second part of it is this: for those who probably now in a rush of I want to submit on time and don't still, let me tell you something. Submitting on time and rushing does not guarantee you doing less than what you, or giving less than your best, right? So if for some reason you rushed, you hurriedly did it, and then you submitted before the deadline and you scored 45, we have just one review. Everybody gets one chance. Okay, that's the default, right? So you have a chance for you to review your work and make corrections. After making your corrections, assuming we pity you and say we want to review. After making the corrections, if you like the same thing, design the best. Go to the future, and look for the best design. Code the best. You will still not get more than 75. So basically what I am saying is this: task, right? It is a first impression. Give your best at the first time, right? Give your best at the first what time, because the second time you will not be, there's no opportunity to give that best again, even if we see it. Okay, that's nice. I'll give you a 75. Right? Very, very important. Do it right. Thank you very much, Agonzi. Do it right and on time the first time. Somebody should, one of you, whoever is a graphic designer here, please, can you put this? Thank you very much. Put this tag for me. Design this thing and drop it, send it to me. Design it as a quote. Put it for me. Thank you very much. Let me use it on social media. Okay, well, that's by the way. So do it right and on time the first time. That's just what I'm saying. And this is something that every one of us, including myself, should learn to live by, right? Something we learn to live by. Okay, first impression is very, very important. Okay, so let me even write that. Somebody should screenshot this thing. That's a very, very good good one. I'm gonna see, you have wisdom, your head is there. Okay, so let's move on. So that's about stages, right? That's about stages. Very, very important. Very, very important. So that's about the task also. Yeah, so another thing, right? One thing you need to understand is that delay is very, 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 very risky, right? Delay is very risky. What it does is that it keeps you behind. So if other persons, it's very possible that other people will be in stage 4, right? And you're still in stage 1. Look, the probability of you catching up is very, very low. So it's very good you try to meet up, deliver things on time. Now, let me also say this, right? I think I was waiting for the onboarding to actually address this, right? So someone in one of the classes, someone asked about the task, that was the deadline, that he has a lot of work on his plate and blah 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 blah. So let me say this, guys. I understand, okay? I understand that some of us are maybe 9 to 5 hours. Some of us, you already out, you're working somewhere or you're doing something and all the likes, right? But listen, and listen good. It is not an excuse, or it is not a reason for me to bend the process, because there are people also who are students. There are people who are 9 to 5 hours, but they are still putting in. And like I said, one of the things I try not to ever do is to for those persons who are serious, I try not to kind of give a disservice. I value them, because when you allow certain wrong things to thrive, it's very possible that the ones who are doing good, a typical example is late coming, right? If you do not address late coming in a group, right, even the people who come early will stop coming early. And one of the things I had to tell my trainers and will start doing is, once it is 10 for a class, at most two, let's say you want to waste 2 years, but once it's 10, start. If you have just 2 people, start. Anybody who comes later, right, just flow. Don't drag anybody back. Because those persons who came early, yes, some persons will say, maybe they don't have anything. You're not there. You don't know that they don't have anything to do. Doing nothing is also something. But they decided to show up on time. I value those people, right? I value those people who are 9 to 5 hours, but still putting their best. I value those people who are students, who have a lot to prepare for, but they do not allow KodeCamp to affect their class. At the same time, they do not allow class to affect KodeCamp. Why? Because they understand that they chose to run these 2 things concurrently. They were not coerced, right? So they are responsible enough to know that, look, I chose to venture into KodeCamp to learn this, in spite of the fact that I have this already ongoing. So none of them should suffer. Your school should not suffer because of KodeCamp. Your KodeCamp should not also suffer. And when I say KodeCamp, it's your own career I'm talking about. Your career should not suffer because of school. School should not suffer because of your career. Your job should not suffer because of your tech career, vice versa. So that's why we did stuff like communication, goals, time management. These are just stuff to actually help you to be productive. Very, very, very important, right? So if you have questions about the task and everything, like I said, jot them down. I'm done with stages and promotion. Jot them down, right? we'll get into it. I'll take those questions and address them. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, especially this is for those who the acclaimed intermediate level, right? So when you're signing up, right? When you're signing up, you're going to get to decide. Of course, some of you you say you're beginner, some person said they are intermediates, right? Well, so this is what it means for you to decide that you're an intermediate, right? This is what it means. And it means that, let me clarify, it means that you understand the what concepts, right? Like you're already a beginner, you have done stuff. Let me give an example. Let me see if I can touch UI UX, right? So you being an intermediate UI UX means that you understand the design principles. In fact, you have even started, do you have personal projects already you have worked on? You have put up stuff on Dribble, good designs, not anyhow stuff, right? You're good with your colors. If possible, you've even started doing one or two projects. You understand the design process, design thinking process. You understand the whole concept of what, user research. You know how to start designing a product from the beginning down to the end. That's what a beginner is. So when you want to go into intermediate level, it means you already know those stuff. For those of you who are Python backend API, you went to fast API, you went to intermediate. It means you already know fast API. It means you can actually write endpoints. But when you come to intermediate, it means you're going to more advanced concepts. If you're in Python intermediate and then there are certain questions I have seen in certain tracks from the intermediate level. And I just laugh. I'm like, okay, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? You're doing yourself I know a few persons who are just they just moved themselves back to beginner, and I respect you. I'm saluting you from here, because you know that, look, number one, you're not in a competition with anybody, right? You're not in a competition with anyone. You need to understand that this is something you need to take your time and learn. Because trust me, you cannot fake it. See, this is one thing, you cannot fake it till you make it. If you don't know it, you do not know it. Where you fake it, get the job. Trust me, I'm sorry, but you only ruin your reputation. That's all you do. You will ruin your reputation, right? Take your time, understand. There is going to be another KodeCamp 5.0 by God's grace, 6.0, right? In fact, it will be better as it goes. So don't think that now I've seen free training, let me just learn everything now. There was one character, one individual that wants to do three. I told him, my brother, not in this KodeCamp. In fact, I feel like taking you off the call right now just for saying that. Why? Because maybe you've seen it's free training. Let me grab all I can. You're doing yourself a disservice. Take your time and learn one. Okay. So for those of you who will register as an intermediate, let me give you a heads up. This is what is going to happen to you. You're going to meet a task, which is an intermediate task. It's going to be a test to test that you actually understand what you need to understand before you come into the intermediate. UI UX, the Node.js, the Fast API, Flutter, right? React. So there's a test that you will actually have to pass. Now, this is what happens. Let me play out scenarios. Scenario number one, still the same thing about deadline. So let's say you meet the test and you have 2 days to submit, and 2 days from now, let's say you have today, you have tomorrow. So let's say you have to submit by on or before Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. Right? I'm giving an example. Now, listen carefully for those of you that are that will register on the LMS or sign up as an intermediate. Number one is this. I'm giving an example, if by the deadline you have not submitted, you'll be moved back to the beginner, the beginner equivalent. So if you're, of course, UI UX intermediate, you go to UI UX beginner, what's it called? Fast API intermediate, you didn't submit on that deadline, you'll be moved to the beginner, what's it called? React. right? You didn't submit on time, you'll be moved to the beginner, which is what? Front end. The beginner equivalent is front end. Flutter, the same thing. This is not, that's scenario number one. You did not submit on time. Number two scenario is you did not make the cut. So let's just assume the same cutoff mark of 75, right? If you don't get up to 75, you're moved back to the what? Beginner level, meaning that the classes you probably have missed and everything, you have to now start what? Catching up. You will start catching up. 2 weeks has gone, right? The third week, you go back, you start watching all those videos, and you will have to catch up. And there will be tasks already waiting for you that maybe the beginners have probably what done. You will have to go back and what? Catch up. Is either that, or you probably just you know, say, okay, no, I'm not a beginner. I will not do it. Why will you send me back to beginner level? I'm not a beginner. No problem. I just close the LMS tab, right? And probably just exit from the Discord. No stress. It's not, it's not a quarrel, right? It's not fight. Okay. So it's either you do the intermediate or you do beginner, right? You will not force, you will not tell me which one you should do. It's the test that will define what you do. Now, let me also say this. Of course, we're in the world, right? People tend to be smart and, try to someone said there's backward regression from higher tempo to lower tempo. I also know that some of you will now get somebody to do the test for you, or you look for another means just so that you pass. Can I tell you something? It will show. It will show in the end, right? It will show in the task that's going to be coming ahead. It will show. And the moment, listen carefully, the moment I identify in any track that is in the intermediate, either during classes or during tests or during the task, I identify that you are lacking in certain concepts which you should know as a beginner. Even if you are in stage 5, I will send you back to the beginner. I will send you back. You will go back. See, you guys need to understand, right? You see, KodeCamp, we are not just training. See, our training is rigorous and is intentional. When we say we want to build the skill economy, it's not a joke. We are not joking. So we need to be sure that the people there are jobs everywhere. Why is it that companies in Nigeria when they want to build stuff, they go outside, they go to India, they go to this, they go to that. They can't even trust any Nigerian to do a job. Well, not all, actually. They are still the good ones, but the good ones are few. Why? Because people are not properly grounded. People are not properly grounded. And in KodeCamp, we will ground you. It's a military zone. Just know it's a military zone. We're not here to make you feel good, right? If you want to feel good, if we want you to feel good, we'll start selling ice cream, right? But we're not selling ice cream here. This is a military zone. Okay, so please and please, someone beginner to beginner lights. No, don't worry. It's just beginner. You stay there. Okay, so please, right? This is a military zone. Everybody must be. Thank you very much. I like the way Francis put it. Everybody must be tested to be trusted, not just right. Of course, to trust you, we have to test you. So if you come out, it means that you have both been tested, and there is now a trust. A trust follows. Trust follows after testing, right? So I don't, there's no faith in this one. No. We don't do faith here. The only belief I will have in you is when you do what you're supposed to do, right? So please, let's take note of these things. It is very, 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 very important. So those who are going to be intermediate, step up, right? I wish you all the best, right, in the task. I hope you scale through. I don't mind having just 10 people in intermediates. It means that I'm now confident that, okay, if I want to, when a company reaches out to me and say, okay, I need so person, I can beat my chest and tell them, take this person. This person will not let you down. I rather have 2 success stories than have thousands of persons and none at all. I think that's where they say a bird in hand is is it 9 in the bush or wherever. I don't know how they actually put that statement, right? So just take note of that. Please, the person that is raising hand, I was very clear. Maybe you came late. Questions and everything will be done after, okay? Just write your questions and keep it, okay? When it's time for questions, everybody raise your hands, people who have questions, raise your hands and I'll address it. Okay, that's what happens when you join late, or probably you join the call and then you go into the room to fry egg, go to the kitchen to fry egg. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. So the last thing, right? Yeah, from let me see. Okay, so getting into the LMS. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Now, listen carefully, guys. Listen, oh, listen. I'm going to do this demo, but the URL I'm using is just more like think of it as it's not the actual URL that you're going to use, right? What I'm going to do is just for demo purposes. So for the smart guys here, you now probably look at my browser and now see the URL and copy. I want to sign up, bro. You are lost. Okay. Um, I'm going to share the link to we're going to share the link on the Discord that where you guys are going to actually sign up. So what you're going to see is just for demo purposes, right? For developers, we just say this like the dev site. So just think of this like a clone of the main thing, right? The main one, the link to you guys actually signing up will be dropped on the announcement channel. This is just for demo purposes. I'm just saying for those smart ones who feel like I don't know what I'm doing. You think I'll just drop URL for in the public, especially this is going to be a YouTube, this is going to be posted on YouTube, right? So that anybody can just sign up. No, I won't do that now. Okay. So okay, so take notes of that. So let me just switch to a browser, right? Quickly and show us. So I think this should be it. Okay, let me see. I think this should be I think this should be it. Nope. Okay, let me use, yeah, okay, it's this one. Okay, so let me share my screen quickly. Okay, so on the chats, you can confirm that you can see my screen on the chats. Just confirm that you can see a create account stuff on the chats. Confirm. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have active people on this call. Okay. Okay, so we're going to send URL to you, right? This is just for testing purposes, right? So if you create an account here, trust me, you're not going to be able to use it. So don't try to be smart. So first things first, you have to put your first name. So I'm going to so this is basically how you sign up. First name, last name, your username. Now, please, 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 the username that should be here should be the same as what you have on Discord. I'll take that again. Your username on this account, when you're creating an account, should be the same as your Discord to help me identify you easily. Okay, so that if there's maybe something you scored low, right? I will need to reach out to you, give you feedback on the LMS. I can just see the username and then come to Discord and just call you out, right? Or send you a message. So make sure you use your username. Mine is admin, right? So put in your email address, preferably the email address you actually used to, sign up, right? I'm just going to use some dummy stuff. So use the email address you used to sign up for KodeCamp. Your phone number is still very important. Same phone number you filled. And then, so I'm just going to put it. So this is just for demo purposes, right? So password, you can actually use a generated password, right? You can use a generated password or you use your own password. For passwords, right? Try to make sure you follow the password rule, which is making sure you have an uppercase, you have a character, and you have a number, right? So something like this. Let's say uppercase could be let's say L. Let's say the password is live. I want to just say live coding, right? As my password. So I have an uppercase L, so I could add a number 1 and I could add a character, maybe underscore or this, right? So that's just it. So find whatever combination. Of course, this should be your pattern of passwords because it's more secure, right? So I think they're both the same. Okay, so next, so you can decide to save username and password, but what you should actually save is email, right? Not this. So in case you have this prompt to save that. What should be here actually is email. So you can just change it to email and save that, right? Um, okay, so yeah, that's I just know I don't want to actually do that. So your country of origin, right? So you can just type in your country of origin here for those who are not who are not Nigerians, right? So you can just type in your country of origin. So if you're from Botswana, you can just type in Botswana, right? Um, yeah, so your city. I've gone to look for trouble. I've gone to type. I don't know a city in Botswana. Who knows a city in Botswana? Let's just catch small cruise. Who knows a city in Botswana? Let me see. Is there anybody that knows a city in Botswana? Okay, so I'm seeing who said Onana. Are you serious or you're joking? Oh God, you guys are funny. I don't know. You're going to call Manchester United goalkeeper's name. Okay. Ah, I don't even know which one is true. You guys are let's just catch fun now. I'm seeing two of this Gaborone or Gaborone, so or Gabon. Let me just put it. Let's just catch cruise. Okay. Um, okay, so let's move on. So I think I saw someone saying something about Discord username. So on Discord, display name and username are two different things, right? And one of the rules that we stated, which some of you are yet to comply to, is your display name should be your full name, right? Your username can be whatever you feel, but your display name should be your full name. It's an identifier. Just know that if it is not your full name, it will affect your certificates. Let me even just leave it at that. All right. Don't ask me any question about that. And then profile picture, you should have that. Okay, so someone has told me Gaborone is correct. Oh, that's nice. So okay, interesting. For those of you that Googled it, don't worry, we know. So your marital status is either you're single or married. Yeah. I know somebody will be like, what of divorced? If you're divorced, just put single now. No, there's no big deal there. Okay. Then for cohorts, you select CodeCamp 4.0, right? And for skill level, good. So this is where you get to choose your level. For those of you who are going to be beginner, who is intermediate, right? So when you select beginner, right, then you can now pick the track. So you see a list of tracks here. This is just a demo purpose, right? You see a list of tracks. You see all the tracks when you're about to sign up. So don't worry about what you're seeing now. You'll see all the tracks. So you just select your track. Okay, so for beginners, you see Flutter, UI UX, Node.js, Python Fast API, and you see front end. For intermediate, you see everything, but instead of front end, you see React. Okay, so someone said they've done smutting on your head. You're still single now till they do the full thing. Or someone say you single pro. Okay, let's move on. So employment status, right? You state your employment status, right? A student, unemployed, or whatever. Um, educational qualification, right? You select something, choose what best describes you. Either you're currently in tech, looking to switch, or you're not interested. If you're not interested, I wonder why you're going to be signing up for it. So just tell us a brief about yourself, right? Somebody is asking, what about those survey? Just keep your question, right? Keep it somewhere, right? I'll address that. Tell us about yourself. So you just tell us a few things about yourself. Tell us why you want to take the course. So let me just designers, some designers should know what I just wrote. Others, if you're an intermediate and you don't know what I wrote, go to beginner. Okay, intermediate designer, I don't know what I wrote, go to beginner. Why do you want to take this course? You choose, have you attended a CodeCamp course before? Yes or no, right? How did you hear about us? So, just select one of the options here. I think there are going to be more options on the live site, but let me just pick this. So once you do that, then you click on um create an account. Okay, so yeah, I missed something, and come to think of it, I did not save this password, so I may not be able to log in. So guys, yeah, so let me start this process again, right? Because I didn't save that password, right? So let me just start this process again. So John, I'll be very quick, don't worry though. um admin. I'm going to use 2N just to, so let me use, I think mm, let me just use something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I'll be very quick, don't worry. So for password, um let me use a password that can just, I'll just call it password sorry. Okay, I want to be able to, someone said admin is 1N, not Susa. What makes you think I was trying to spell admin? It's a username, it can be anything. So for dates, you just click on the date icon, right? Um, so you click here, you can scroll and find the year, right? You can scroll up. So maybe you're born in 1953, you choose your date. Once you choose the month, right, all you have to do is click out, all right? Just click out, or you can come back and then choose the day. Let's say 15th, right? Okay. Uh, okay, so yeah, mail, country. Sorry, let me just put some dummy stuff, please. Permit me to just put some dummy stuff, right? Cohort 4.0 level. So let me choose intermediates from okay. Okay. So yeah, so you click on create account, right? And yeah, you can see account created successfully, right? Then proceed to log in. So you are to log in with this your email. So to show you the email you actually signed up with. The essence of this is in case you make mistakes. So please, one of the things you should learn, right? For every one of you, whenever you sign up, it is very important you read any pop-up or success message. Very important. Learn it as a skill. A lot of you did not join the Discord when you registered, not because there was you're expecting a mail, but when you filled the registration form, part of the response was a link to join the Discord, but a lot of you did not see it because once you just finish that action, so maybe you just close the tab and everything. So learn to read success models like this, or any pop-up whenever you take an action. Learn to read it. It's very important to help you. So proceed to log in, right? So let's see. Um So like I said, you can also click on remember me, right? So like I said, this is just kind of like a dummy sorry, clone, right? The live site is definitely different, right? On it's better. So okay, so yeah, you see something like this, right? That shows your learning progress, shows your overall points. So these overall points is basically the points that you have accrued over time from your score, right? You see this number of stages that have been completed, right? When you sign up, you see that here is 8. Like I said, this is just a clone, right? You see here will be 8 when you actually sign up, right? You see the week, we're actually week 3, right? We're actually in week 3, so we are 50% done, right? Yeah, 50% done. Okay, so yeah, you get to see the track you signed up for, right? You get to see your name, and everything, the stage you're currently on. This is your ID and profile and all those stuff, right? Right. So on profile, you can change your profile picture, right? You can edit all these things, right? By just going through this edit profile. I'm not here to do this kind of demo. You can go do that yourself. But this is what I want. This is where I'm coming to. This is what I want to explain. Very, very important. Now, this is where you're going to spend most of your time. Task and dashboard. Dashboard just gives you a bit of an analytics, right? Okay, just gives you a bit of analytics. Um, I didn't say 50, I said 15% fewer. So now when you go to task, first of all, on your dashboard, you see recent what tasks, right? You see recent what tasks, tasks that probably you may have done it already, but of course it's fairly recent. Okay. then what you should pay attention most when you log on is your tasks. So this is where you get to see every task that has been assigned, that have been created, that have been given, right? And then you get to, what's it called? Do the task. So when you come here, you just click on the task, right? And you see the details of that what task. Now, a typical example is, now inside here, this is where you get to see your actual task, which is going to be whatever your trainer wants you to do, right? Whatever your trainer wants you to do, design this, implement this, build this is where it's going to be. This shows you that it is due in 2 days and all that, right? This shows you the number of points, which is over 100. This shows you the stage, right? Now, this place is, this here, you're going to see something like links. Now, what this link basically is, who is that person? Okay, just your bar. I think he'll kick you out now. So the links here represent, now one of this is another thing I want you guys to know. Everything you are going to submit is going to be a link. I use the word linkify, but I know it's not a word, right? But I just like to say it. Your submissions are linkified, right? Meaning that it's going to be a link. For developers, you're basically going to submit stuff like your GitHub URL, right? To the particular project you or task you were given, or whatever. Designers is going to be your Figma link or a Google Docs or whatever, right? The Python guys, whatever it is, you put it in a link. Now, this is one thing. This is what I want you to understand. When you submit, right? For some reason, if you're being asked to make an update, please know that submission is once and for all. And I'll show you now. Once you submit, you cannot submit again. Please note this so that before you click, so let me say, this is telling you, you see stuff like, for developers, you see stuff like GitHub, meaning that you're expected to submit a GitHub URL. Designers, you see something like, let's say Figma, you see something like maybe Miro, you see something like, let's say Docs, or you see something like maybe Google Sheets or Google Docs, right? It means that you are supposed to submit a link that is either GitHub or Figma or whatever. For example, this is just Google, right? It means they're expecting a Google link. I'm just giving an example. So I could just, whatever I designed or whatever I did. So I'll just paste the link here. So let's assume I paste the link in a docs folder. I'll just say docs.new, right? HTTPS. For some of you that don't know, when you actually do docs.new, you create a new Google document, a Word document on your browser. Now, once you click on submit, you cannot take it back and you cannot submit again. So make sure that before you click this button, you have checked and cross-checked and double-checked and triple-checked. So I'll click on submit now. It will ask you, are you sure? And it tells you won't be able, that I say, always read modals. It tells you won't be able to make changes after this. So say yes. So you can see once you submitted, there's no other way to submit. There's no button, and your status actually was changed to what submitted, right? So you can always check your dashboard, right? Like I said, for information, you can always check your dashboard. So let's go back to that task. You can see it now changes to what submitted. Okay, it means you've submitted what task. Okay. Now, someone says submitted Otilo. So now let me see. I want to show you. So at this point, what this means that you will now be graded. Okay. So your trainer will then grade you. Okay. Your trainer will then grade you and give you a score, which of course depends on what you actually scored, right? So once he or she does that, then you will get a notification, right, on your dashboard. Like, not when I say notification, I don't mean your phone will ring, sha. But when you come back to your sorry, just a second. Your status here will change to what's graded. Once you're being graded, your status here will change to what's graded, and you see your score, right? You see your score. Your status will be graded, you see your score. So you see graded in a green color. Now, if you score below the cutoff point of, let's say, 75, right? Your score will be here, but it will be red. That means you got below the cutoff. But if it is 75 above, right? then to be green. Someone said, do the submit again. Sorry, you watch that in the video. Okay, so you're either just coming or you were not paying attention, or maybe your network, but sorry about that. Okay, I don't think that's from my end. I don't think. Okay, so then after graded, you once you're graded, the next thing that the next thing you see is that you're awaiting promotion. Okay, awaiting promotion will be the next status of that your task. So once you are promoted, you actually see that you've been promoted. But for the intermediate test people, right, that's your first task. You won't be promoted, you'll be demoted if you did not get up to, right? So what will happen to you is a demotion back to beginner, and then of course every other thing will now be promotion from there. So we'll take you back to take you up, right? Someone said carry on plenty. Don't worry, this is not university. This is not a school university school system. So interestingly, there are persons who in the previous cohort they did not graduate. On their LMS, they are still there in their stage. Okay, but that's by the way. I don't want to believe. Look, guys, we want to be able to graduate as much persons as possible, but we will not cut corners. Okay, we want to graduate as much persons as possible, but we will not cut corners. Okay, so please, let's make sure we give in our best. In fact, giving not just your best, give what is expected of you, right? What is expected of you. Okay. Okay, so that's basically that's basically that. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm going to that's where I'm going to round this up. So let's take questions, right? So if you have a question, this is the time for you to raise your hand and ask your question. Just raise your hand. I'll call you. Just raise your hand. For those of you that had questions, please raise your hand. I want to know the number of questions I'm attending to. Someone said you should consider mass promotion. What do you mean by mass promotion? Hmm? Why should I consider mass promotion as in how? Are you trying to save me the stress of promoting people one by one, or so this is not a waiver, right? This is not waiver. We're not going to waiver anything. This is not university that, when you don't make it, we'll say, okay, let's just let my people go. No, 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 no. We're not letting anybody go. Like I said, you have to know this thing. If you don't know it, you don't know it. That's just the truth. And it will show. So do yourself a favor and no. So someone says, see, just ask your question. I may answer some on the chat, but I'll prefer you actually unmute and ask, please. I prefer you unmute and ask. Like there's some questions I'm seeing. Um, Thoughts or challenges, please just to do them on the chat. Okay, so let's head over. I have 7 persons, so that means there are just 7 questions. I know this 7 will bring extra. Okay, so let's start with Hillary. Hillary, go ahead. Yeah, you can unmute now. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Sorry, I was having network issue at some point. I didn't know how you brought out the um dashboard. Is it a URL that will be sent to us or?
Yeah, like I said, I'll send a URL for you guys to actually. So this is not the URL. This is just a clone. Okay, the actual URL for you guys to sign up on your dashboard will be dropped on the announcements channel. Okay, so that's another thing. If you guys are not paying attention to announcements, to fly you. And there's a deadline. So let me just say this right. Okay, so let me put this out there. Registration is going to start by 7 p.m. Okay, 7 p.m. today. So the link will be dropped on or before 7 p.m. for everybody to start registering, right? And registration is going to run till Friday, right? After Friday, the registration into LMS is going to be shut down. Beg me from now to tomorrow, I will not answer. So better maybe when you're having class, ask be a good be your brother's keeper or sister's keeper. Hey, have you guys stand up on the LMS or your class or whatever, or your track channel? After that, there's no please, sir. I don't like all those please. I'm sorry. Okay. So yeah, I think that's that. So Josephine, go ahead. Please, when I've answered your question, just lower your hand.
Okay, thank you, sir. I missed it when you were talking about the submission. You said,
Okay.
from what I got, you said it will be a link. Like if you're a front end, you submit your GitHub link. So when you put it in that link, but you click submit, then from that part I lost it. I didn't get it. That's what I
Okay,
wanted to know.
okay. So from that part, what you do is once we are done, when I upload this video on YouTube, we just watch forward to that part, and watch it. Okay. Thank you very much. Paul, who are these two people? Please, Imole, can you kick out all of them, like all Anthony, Judith, and Wisdom? Kick all of them out, like all of them. Okay. Just leave them. I put them in waiting room. Leave them there. Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, boss.
Yes. Good morning.
I have 3 questions I want to ask.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
the first question is on our username on Discord.
Yes.
You said our username on LMS portal should be the same on
Yes.
the one on Discord. So,
Yes.
like, is there any case sensitive in your LMS setting where
Thank you
because
very much. Hold on. Thank you. Hold on. Thank you very much. I feel like sending you money right now. Thank you. Please, it is case Discord is case sensitive. Like very, very case sensitive. Like see the way your name is now, Paul with a capital letter P. It's different from Paul with a capital letter, small letter P, right? It is very case sensitive. So please, the exact, sometimes your inputs, your keyboard inputs, especially for those using phones, the default is, hmm, some people will not learn. Okay, let me kick this one out. I put people in waiting room to see if they will learn, but when they join back, they're still doing the same thing. So for those of you using phones, your keyboard by default, it capitalizes the first word when you start typing. Sometimes you need to manually, kind of make it small case. So please, it is very case sensitive. Okay. So make sure if you have to do Control C, copy it or whatever and paste it, fine, but it's case sensitive. Okay. Go ahead.
all right, that one is answered. Thank you. The next
Yeah.
question is on password. You said we should use password with some underscores, at or capital and small. Also is case sensitive. But what if I want to use my name, then attach it with some numbers and symbols? Will it work?
You're fine. That's fine. That's fine. Like I said, in
Okay.
lower case, uppercase, character, number, right? Yeah, it's fine. If you still want to use your name and then add those stuff, right? But of course, like I said, it's just for security purposes. And in the actual sense, right? For some of you that have passwords on social media, you shouldn't use your name. It's being predictable. That you're not being secure, right? So go ahead.
All right. The next question I'll do, sorry, is 4, but let me just ask this one.
Go ahead.
Like for beginners, in the front end beginner, you get. So there are some people that don't understand how to use GitHub repository yet, because you told us that on that LMS dashboard where we submit a link. So some people don't know how to use, some people are just starting this thing for the first time. So I am part of this, some people I'm talking about anyway.
Okay.
So we don't
Okay.
know how to use
So
GitHub repository.
let me respond. Okay. So like I said, I was given an example. Your trainer will actually guide you on whatever it is you need to submit, but it will be, like I said, it's not a word, but it will be linkified. Okay. Of course, you will learn GitHub soon. It will soon be part of what you guys will learn. But whatever task he gives, he will also let you know how to submit in such a way that it is submitted as a link. A typical example is you guys are writing your code on, for example, VS Code, right? There are platforms like CodePen, and I think he introduced one in the beginning of the class before he went to VS Code, right? That also can be submitted, but your trainer will handle that, so you don't need to worry. Okay.
Okay. One last one. Thank you very much. One last one. There are some portal where you log in and it will tell you that you should always log out if you are done. I don't know whether LMS is part of that kind of portal where when you are done
Okay.
with what you are doing, you log out.
Okay, so well, I don't understand the rationale behind that. You can actually stay, for example, just like saying Facebook, when you're done chatting, you should log out. Okay. So I don't understand their rationale. What at the LMS, you if you don't want to log out, you're fine. Okay. Mm.
All right, thank you,
Okay.
sir, for answering.
You're welcome. Francis, go ahead.
All right, very good morning, sir, and thank you, sir, for taking us through this LMS learning this morning. Okay, my question is actually on the Discord channel. I know
Okay.
I've put out this very question prior to this time. I keep seeing messages from front end, back end, as a suggested messages,
Yeah.
and I get to just ignore. So I don't know if that has a way of just roping me in as having registered on two track channels. So I just thought to bring this to your
Okay.
notice, sir.
Okay.
Thank you
No,
so much.
it's actually good. So yes, it puts you at risk, actually. Let me just put it that way. It puts you at risk. But I think we had addressed this before. What you should do, this is what you can do, every one of you that are having that issue. Go into the channel. You don't send a message, just go into the channel, mute it. After muting the channel on your go back to where you have a drop down on the you have the KodeCamp name. Click on drop down, and then you can hide your muted what channels. Better still, there was actually a video. There's a resource for that, right? There's a resource for that. If you go to our KodeCamp YouTube, there's a resource for that. So let me see. I'll probably just Imole probably will just help with that. So just drop that on the announcement channel again for those of you that are having that issue. So just follow through that process, and you'll be able to fix that. Okay. Okay. So I hope I answered that. So let's move on. Who is the next person? Um, David, go ahead. Kalola David, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I have two questions, and the first one has been asked by Francis already. But the second one is still related to that question because when I joined the intermediate level, I
Okay, so
had so
sorry, can
many.
you hold on? Your voice is sounding a bit cloudy. I don't know, maybe you're too close to the mouthpiece or whatever. Can you try to be more audible, please?
All right, can
Yeah, I think this is better.
I think I have two questions actually. Francis already asked one of the two questions, but the second one is related to the first question.
Go ahead,
And the
go
question,
ahead.
eh?
Go ahead, go ahead.
All right. On the Discord channel, when I joined on the intermediate level, all the other courses were listed out like Python, React,
Yeah,
even the
yeah,
UI
yeah,
UX
yeah.
uploaded info.
Okay.
So when I watched the video for how we can mute it, I did all of that, but I still keep getting notifications from those groups and notification from the UI UX I even opted in for, I don't get at all.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
then,
Uh okay, let me solve this on this call. Can you share your screen? Okay, let me solve this for everybody now. So please, for those of you that are having this issue, oh yeah, let's solve your problem. Somebody should, I can't use mine because my roles will not allow me to kind of demo it properly. So I need some of you to. So can you share your screen?
it says it's only the host that can share screen.
Don't worry, let me sort that out. Don't worry. Okay, go ahead. But at the same time, we have office hours, right? Office hours, just as some of you don't attend. Office hours is where we actually solve some of these issues, right? We actually solve these issues during office hours. So, um, you know what? Because of time, maybe we won't do that. Okay. Are you sharing now? You're kind of delaying. I mean, just have to move on. Okay. While you're doing that, let me address James. Go ahead with your question. Abigail.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, ma.
Sorry, sir. I had to, though my colleague has asked already 3 questions. So I had 5, but 2 has been answered. So I will just
You had
ask
5.
2. I said 3 has been answered already. So I had
Okay.
2.
Okay, go ahead.
The first one, sorry, though I had issue with my network, I could not join in time. So I was trying to get you. But at the point I meet you when we were talking about tax. So please, I want to ask, you said if the deadline, for instance, is like 3 days, and that's the 3rd day, you are not able to submit. And at that point, I think my network cracked. Is it if, for instance, too, I have network issue and my submission date is the 3rd day, and on that day I had issue submitting, will I be kicked out or taken back or something? So that place I did not get it right.
Okay, so let me
That is for
answer.
the first one.
Don't worry, let me answer the first one, right? So the thing is, we don't I don't promote kicking people out of the boot camp except they do something wrong, right? Right. One of the
Okay.
things we try to do is to carry people along, but of course there's a limit to what we can do. Okay. Because like I said, I like to prioritize people who are actually putting in the work. Okay, so the thing is, why would you have network issues on the let's say 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. on the particular day of the deadline? So you need to try to submit early. Okay, but if you don't submit at that time, like I said, if the submission link is still open, of course you can submit, but that will affect your score because even if you did something that should earn you a 95, I will give you a 75. That's just
Okay.
what I said. Yeah. So second question.
Okay, the second question is on the username. The
Okay.
username. So in the KodeCamp, I think my name is Abigail. It's Abigail Samuel. Abigail James Upong, sorry. Now, and I think my passcode should be caplock AU. Now, is the caplock AU the username that I'm going to use when signing in?
Sorry. Take that again.
As in the username now. So my name is Abigail James Upong. And then in
Okay.
KodeCamp, I think I have the name is AU. I am known as that as a cap lock. So is that the username I use when signing in?
You're the one that knows your username better than I do. So I don't know. You know your username better than me. But your username is actually, let me tell you, your username is Abigail James Ubong, small letters all through. That's what I'm seeing here on the Discord.
Okay.
So that's your username. You used your full
Okay.
name as your username. Everything small letter. So use the same thing.
Oh, wow. It's okay. All
Yes.
right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Another
you're
question
welcome.
have been answered already.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay. The next person is uh Marian. Go ahead. Quickly. Please just go
Sorry,
straight to your question. Don't tell me you had 8. You had 8, but 2 have been answered. Just go straight to the question.
are you talking to me?
Yes, I am talking to you, ma.
I didn't hear you.
I said go straight to the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, straight to the question. What time is usually office hours?
Okay. So office hours is Tuesdays, right? Molly, help me out. I think I should be Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays by 11, and I think Thursdays by 12. I think that should be the case. So yeah. So, but check
Okay.
the announcement channel. Just go to the announcement channel, scroll up, you see where it was announced. Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
today is okay, Monday. So by tomorrow now I will address my problem because I have an issue that I needed to address. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, right? I've confirmed. So it's actually 12 noon on Tuesday and then 11 a.m. on Thursday. So see you by 12
Okay,
tomorrow.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, that was a short one. Miracle, go ahead. I think I have just 5 more, so we are done. Okay, I think probably we have answered Miracle's question already. Okay, Gifts, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you
good
for
morning.
everything. Thank you for the information. Okay, my question is this. I recently started the UI UX design course on my own. I bought course from Udemy, and I've started so far. Well, I
Okay.
want to ask, I've done some things actually, but I've not really put up anything on Dribble.
Okay.
So I want to just ask, should I start from the beginners or intermediate?
What do you think?
Um, okay, I was just thinking of going back to intermediate so that
Going
at
back
least
to intermediate.
the beginners, no, beginners, I
Okay.
mean. Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Then follow, go through it now. Something is telling you that, so maybe you should.
Bring in in my hands.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Anyeka, go ahead. Hello, Anyeka, are you there? Okay, so maybe he has gone to fry egg. Tubor, go ahead.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Morning, everyone.
Okay, Anyeka,
Sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my question is, I have not been attending the DevOps Club because I've been super busy, but I was just opportune to just get into the Slack today, and I saw this call, and I saw this onboarding session. I had to join, so I enrolled for DevOps beginner. So I don't know if there is a way that am I meant to go back to the YouTube videos, or I have to start this onboarding process first, or is there any other upcoming classes for DevOps I can now easily join? So yeah, that's my question.
Okay, let me start by asking you this. Are you on your track channel? Hello?
My what?
Are you on your track channel,
Yeah.
on the DevOps channel? Are you there?
No,
Have
I'm
you
not
joined?
there.
Your problem
No,
is plenty. Your problem is plenty. See you by 12 p.m. tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, how do I see you by 12 p.m. tomorrow?
Are you kidding me? Are you on the Discord?
Yes, I am.
And you can see announcements channel, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Like you under the announcement channel, you can see KodeCamp 4.0, bah?
Yes.
Good. So scroll up, just scroll up. You see KodeCamp Office R. You see a link. You just see it there. Scroll up, you see it. So see you by 12 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Tubor. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for your time so far. I would like to know if there is maybe automatic internship placement for all successful candidates after the KodeCamp.
There is no automatic internship placement after the KodeCamp. It's not automatic. Okay, it's not automatic. It's manual. Okay, it's dependent on it's dependent on how well you do, right? It's
Okay.
dependent on how well you do. So it's not automatic. It's manual.
But there is a chance for that, right?
There is an opportunity for that. Yes, definitely.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. I wanted to call IT team, but I cannot call IT team because I don't know who you are. So rename yourself, and then I'll call you. So Miracle, go ahead.
Please, does CodeCamp have a hub in Enugu, like for people that want to start attending physical classes?
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So somebody's asking on the chat, can I do back-end, intermediate, and DevOps? Please try, Please try so that I'll kick you out. Thank you very much. So Miracle, no, currently we do not have a hub in Enugu, right? But now that you have said it, I think we'll see what we can do about that. Okay, no promises though, right? We'll see what we can do, but we don't really do physical classes. KodeCamp is virtual. So even if we have a hub or we are able to connect with 1 or 2 persons, basically what to do is just guys going to provide you a place where you can come. Maybe there's light and stuff, you interact, have a place to do your stuff. But we don't actually have a hub currently at Enugu, okay? But thank you for bringing that up. I think maybe we can actually just look at that for future purposes. Thank you very much. Okay. Elliot Precious, go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, sir, please, I want to ask. I noticed that you brought an assignment, intermediate level.
300 meters.
And some of us just joined recently, so I really don't know if that can be addressed. Then secondly, is a portfolio compulsory to join the intermediate level?
Okay, so first of all, the assignments. And if you just joined now, number one, is not my fault. Okay. So there's an assignment, you do the assignment. Okay. So it's not my fault you joined late. That's one. Secondly, I did not say portfolio is a must. One of the things I said is that at least as someone who have completed beginner, right, who is not a beginner, you should have a portfolio. In fact, okay, let me take a step back and not use that. It's a strong word, but it's just not cool. It doesn't make any sense that as someone who has actually finished beginner and wants to be an intermediate, that you don't have a portfolio. You don't even have an account on Dribble or Behance. You don't have one case study you have done. So the question is, what have you been doing? If you're still in the learning process, then you're not qualified, right? Okay, but if you feel you are, take the test. If you pass, that's fine. But of course, one thing about the intermediate test, like I was saying, in as much as it tests your skills, it also tests your ability to do things quickly. Okay, so that you're not the designer that a client will tell you, I need this project done in 1 month, and then the second month you're still giving excuses. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Ayodeji Pelumi, I think I have just 2 questions and then we'll round up.
Okay, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My major question is, as a beginner right now, is it possible to join more than one class, like Flutter and probably UI
Sorry,
UX?
hold on. When did you join this bootcamp?
When did I join? Right from onset.
Right from the onset, they're asking me this question. Wow.
No,
Please,
right from the onset.
You say what?
Like the restriction I saw was you can't join intermediate and beginner at the same time. You have to choose one.
No, that's not the only thing I said. But please, this is how I'm going to respond. Please do more than one so that will kick you out, please. Thank you. That's my response to you. Do more than one. In fact, I want to see you everywhere. I want to see you in all the beginner, please, so that it will be easy to kick you out. But just to answer your questions, in a calm manner, please. Everybody does only one track. Whether it's beginner, everybody does only. You sign up for just one. Focus on one, please. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Adedeji.
please,
Adedeji.
I
Okay,
still
you
have
have
it.
another
I still have it.
question.
Yeah,
Okay, go
okay.
ahead.
Okay, what about someone who has experience in front end and wants to, can he skip, like, I don't know if I'm a beginner or like you said, the previous video you just answered now, I have a portfolio concerning our front end, but I still feel like if there's a need to go through the beginner class or not.
Okay, so hold on, let me help you out here. When you say your front end and all the stuff, so what have you done? What are you good at? What are your skills? JavaScript, CSS, or what? How much?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
long have you been? How long have you been on front end? How long in front end?
2 years now.
2 years.
Yes,
How
sir.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you with JavaScript?
That is because I haven't done any internship, just personal
No,
projects. So I can
it's not about an internship. I'm talking about knowledge level.
okay. Yeah, I can rate myself like 7.
7. Okay, I go for the React intermediate now. If you pass the test, then you're free.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
this is why I say good luck to you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Adedeji, yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. Please, I want to ask, if I can locate Code House, the location of Code House, can I walk in, please?
Sorry, come again.
Let's say I'm close to Code House,
Okay.
can I come, like, to just
And do what?
no, just to get to, how do I to share, to
Share
learn
what? Learn what?
better mentorship, or now.
I don't know. See,
Because I'm
KodeCamp is
actually
there.
close.
You're close.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
stay where you are.
I should not come. Okay.
Oh God. Well, questions like this, I don't like to answer it in public. Send me a DM. Okay.
Right, sir. All right, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Stanley, go ahead.
Okay. Hello. Good day, everyone. Nice
Yes,
section.
good day.
What I want to ask is, let me clear this doubts I have in my mind.
Okay.
What do you have to say about this? Like, while I was watching when you were onboarding us on the LMS, on the when you want to submit your tax, you made mention. I hear you emphasizing on making sure you're done with your final work. Make sure that's the final version before I submit. So what I want to ask is why we're doing that. There's this something that came through my head, and that was okay. What if I'm done with my tax? And I was like, okay, let me DM my tracks my channel, like my front end channel mentor, to like, okay, can you take a look at my job and to see if it's okay, and let me before I submit. That's what I want to know. Like,
How you even okay, let me just answer you. This is what you're asking. I'm in school now. Can I actually take my work to my lecturer and let him just see it before I submit? That's basically what you're asking me.
Yeah, actually, yes.
Oh yeah, answer the question. Answer it.
There are thousands of students. I know that.
No. It's not about thousands of students, right? You are a lecturer. You give an assignment. A student of yours is coming to meet you to check what he has done before he submits the assignment. Your answer.
Okay, yeah, I've already gotten the answer, but
Okay.
one thing that made me convinced me to ask the question, like this is a kind of can be a different environment and how they do things too. But okay,
No.
that answers my
There's no
question. Thank you.
there's no different environment in this one, sir. Thank you. you not you oh my days, please, you will not do that, please. It doesn't make any sense.
All right,
Okay,
thank you very much.
yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, just do your best. Your mentor will grade you and give you feedback. Okay, Gabriel. Okay, we need to end this in the next 5 minutes, so go ahead. Yes, good morning.
I just want to really ask if the portfolio is actually the same thing with your GitHub account.
Sorry, come again.
I want to ask if your portfolio is the same thing as your GitHub account.
If my own portfolio is the same thing as my own GitHub account.
No, I'm asking if my own is. I hope you understand.
I understand. Don't worry, I'm just playing with you. Don't worry, I understand. Okay. So it's not. I wouldn't say it's the same, right? Your GitHub just holds the project you have done, right? In a way, you can say it is, but your portfolio is more like, for example, some of you, especially the developers, they just built their own websites where they can now put stuff. And so portfolio is more than just GitHub just hosts the project, but your portfolio can go as far as explaining stuff about the project and the things that was done, and the stacks and whatever and everything. So it's not the same. I wouldn't really say they're the same. Okay. So as a developer, of course, you should have your own you should have a portfolio. It's different. GitHub, in fact, your portfolio should now point to your GitHub, because that's where people will get to see that, okay, fine, you actually built this, and get to see the code and all those stuff. Okay. Okay, Nadi, go ahead, Emmanuel. Okay, 2 more questions and then we are done.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is, please, after scoring, is there room for correction? Because last time, last year there was no room for correction, like to know where you didn't get it right. and how you can improve.
there was room. It's just that you are not entering the room. Okay, there was room. It's just that you are not entering the room. There is always room. Your classes is a room for it, right? Sometimes your trainers actually even come on the chat, Discord, the chat, and say, okay, do this, do this, do this. So there's room, right? It's just for you to be in the room when it is being done. Okay. Okay, last person, and then we call it timeout. Any other thing or question or whatever, meet us during office hours tomorrow by 12. So Favor, go ahead. Hello, is he or she
Is he
there?
or she there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah,
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, sir, based on everything that have been said today, initially, okay, I'm currently in the intermediate class. So I'm thinking of going back to beginners. My question is this: for the beginners class, during the course of this training, are we going to get to a point where we go to like learn, like where we get to the intermediate part of our track, or are we just going to like learn the basics? I don't know if you
Okay.
understand my
Okay,
question, sir.
so I understand your question, right? I'll say two things. Number one, when you're done with beginner in KodeCamp 4.0, in 5.0, you can come in as intermediates. Now, this is the second thing I'm going to say. A lot of you are being swayed by words. So you're swayed by the word beginner. It looks so menial to you. But one thing you should understand that a beginner in KodeCamp is not what you think. Oh, don't don't think it's not what you think. The expectations we have for even a beginner, you can ask some of the persons who have actually gone through it. It is not what you think. So a lot of persons trivialize the word because it is beginner, intermediate. You feel that beginner is too small for you. Trust me, you're making a mistake. Okay. So the intermediate, when you're done with beginner, intermediate is in the next cohort. So you don't switch. No, we don't do that. It's just 4 months, right? 3 months of learning, 1 month of capstone projects, right? So yeah, finish up with your beginner class, right? Beginner level, graduate, get certified, and then come back for the intermediate. You can see we take our time to teach you guys. We're not in a hurry, so don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. There are beginners I know that even after beginners they got internship, even after beginners they got a job. So don't think beginner is not a small thing. So just know that. Okay. So yeah, I think that's basically that. So thank you guys, right? We'll round up here. We have office hours again Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? So please, if you have questions, if you have issues, if you have challenges, come on the office hours and get the solution that you need. Okay. Tuesdays 12 noon, Thursdays 11 a.m. office hours. We're going to be doing it every week till KodeCamp ends. So we'll be there for you. So if you have issues, it is you, it's not us. Okay. Finally, the recording will be uploaded on YouTube today. So this is what you do. So don't come on the Discord and start asking YouTube whatever question, link this. Go to YouTube, search for KodeCamp team, subscribe, turn on the notification. Once we just upload it, you will just get the notification. You don't need to come on the call. A lot of you just come on Discord and you're asking weird questions, and I'm wondering, where is this person coming from? Like, did you fall out of the sky? Okay, so please, let's take note of that. So I want to say a big thank you to every one of you. Imole, I don't know, I don't know, I'm sure I want you to say one or two things, just one or two things, just say something before we round up. I don't know if anybody's available, but Imole, let me just start with you.
Okay, so it's been an awesome time with everyone. I hope you learned the needed things you need. If you are still confused, we will be there for you. Tuesday, like you said, meet us tomorrow. So I think that will be all from my end. Enjoy your KodeCamp journey.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure if anybody is available, so I don't know if you are. Okay, but I think we'll probably just
Hello.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
sir. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, okay. So I've been here right from the beginning, and good job, IK, Molly, and thanks to everyone for all the very interesting questions. I know that it's something new, right? But the LMS is your primary tool for you to make progress in CodeCamp. So I hope that everyone will use it, use it to the best of your ability. If there are any other questions, meeting account or anything, we have a support channel on Discord, so you can ask questions that have to do with the LMS not working for you or having difficulties. If you're having any kind of, you ask. As for questions on how you can use the LMS, submissions and all of that, like IK has already said, you get all of that information from your trainer, so ask your trainer a lot of questions on how to use it. The one last thing I want to say is everybody on this call and everybody on this call should join the LMS as immediately it's opened up, because if you are not on the LMS, then you are effectively not in CodeCamp. CodeCamp is made up of 3 primary elements. The first one being the Discord, which is where we do our engagement, communication, sharing of information. The second element is the Zoom calls, which are used for the classes and for meetings like this. And then the last element, which is the LMS, that is where you make your progress. So every single person has to be part of each of those in order to be able to get the full thing out of CodeCamp. So I wish you the best. Things will begin to get challenging, once the tasks come out. So I do hope that, everybody makes it. So that's all from me. We'll see you again.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Let's have a wonderful day. For those of you that on React, well, you know what the time is, so let's get on it. Thank you very much, guys. Let's have a wonderful and productive week. Thank you.